This is gonna be my second game review, and I just wanted to talk because there's a lot of stuff. This is probably the most controversial game right now. Right next to Helldivers, but it looks like they're getting their situation fixed up at the moment. But there's just so much going on in this game, and it just pisses me off because it's getting in the way of it. This game's actually fucking good. This is a good AAA game, and all this bullshit is overshadowing this game, and it just makes me sad. Cause well, this is gonna be a pretty biased review, but um, I'm gonna give this game a 10 out of 10, and throughout this video, I'm gonna explain why this game is fucking great. And I'm gonna talk about everything: story, graphics, combat, and I guess I don't want to talk about the censorship too much, but I'll talk about it in the end here. But I have a little list here of topics to talk about in the game. This is all gonna come from the heart, but I got a list here. So, why am I giving this game a 10 out of 10? It's not perfect, right? Yeah, it's not perfect, of course. But, nothing's perfect. And even with games that are not perfect, they still could get a 10 out of 10. At least in my book. I think so. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't perfect, but it had problems. But even with all those problems, I still think Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 10 out of 10. But anyways, in the list, storytelling. So a lot of people say the story is the weakest part of this game. I disagree. I think I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say like uh what's a great story, or like, a lot of people say storytelling is, they know when storytelling is good or bad, but in the end of the day, storytelling, or the story in general, in this game, movies, books, or anything, it's all perspective. One could say the story is amazing. This story in Stellar Blade is amazing. Or another could say it's trash. It's all perspective at the end of the day. And I think that this story is very simple to understand, at least in my book. Like, and I just loved it. I loved the story. That's it. I love the story. So it's all right. So, for example, here, Oppenheimer, the movie. Now, people say it's a fucking masterpiece. Some people say it's the best storytelling ever. And then there's gonna be other people that are gonna be like, yo, that shit, was dog shit. Oppenheimer's a dog shit film. It's all perspective at the end of the day. And in my opinion, the storytelling in this game is good. Some people like complicated storytelling, and they'll call it a masterpiece. Some people like simple storytelling, and it's also a masterpiece. Everything's perspective at the end of the day. People will say, "Oh, this story line is fucking weak." Well, I think it's great. So, yeah. So it's very simple to understand, and honestly, the ending kind of got me. If you guys played this, the ending I was not expecting that. But anyways, here's the second. The graphics. I think the graphics are beautiful. This is what I expect from games most of the time. A lot of games, the graphics are shit. But this game was actually good, and it's just, some people say it's mediocre, but fuck them. I think these graphics are good, and I'm glad they add a balance mode in this game instead of me just going automatically to performance mode, because man, sometimes I have to just go to performance mode in some other games because it's just shit is not working, So there's not really much to say about graphics. It's beautiful, and the characters are also beautiful. You could tell that this game, they gave a lot of, there was a lot of passion in it, and it just makes me happy that, there was passion. You could feel the passion, You could feel that there was heart in this. There's a lot of games that are so soulless, and I'm getting sick of that. And oh, that reminds me. Speaking of soulless, the side missions in these games, I love them way more than. Of course, they're not perfect side missions. But I love these side missions much more than side missions in other games that feel fucking dead. The side missions in other games feel dead. This one feels. I definitely got like feels. I felt it. I felt it. Some side missions in other games feel soulless. This one I didn't feel that. I felt like there was some effort and there was a bit of passion in the side missions, except especially with the lady who was singing. I got some feels there, and even now thinking about it, I could feel that they definitely put some thought into the side missions, which is for me in my book, it's not required to have like in-depth side missions and stuff to have a great game, but it's definitely appreciated in my book at least. So yeah, love that. Now the combat, I think that's the most powerful thing in the game. Of course, I've always wanted a game just like this with this kind of combat, especially after I played Sekiro. I don't know if you guys know about the From Software game Sekiro. I think it's from that's the company, but yeah, ever since I played that game, I wanted more of that, but I don't think there's any games like that. And Stellar Blade had that, it was similar to that, but it was different, Stellar Blade, it made you feel powerful. It made you feel like even if a fight's hopeless, don't give up. You could still fucking make it somehow. And the combat just felt so alive and intimate. You could get if you if you perfect parry, you get rewarded by doing a retribution, or I think that's what it's called. And you get up close and personal and fucking stab them and pin them to the ground and just keep stabbing them, and it's just fucking amazing in my book. It's what the games nowadays need, fucking passion like that. They need fucking passion like that. And I fucking loved it. I fucking loved how she was stabbing them like that. Okay, it sounded like this sounds like some serial killer shit, but yeah, man, like the combat is amazing. And when you think the combat can't get any better, they always add something new, you have the beta skill, then later on in the game you get the burst skill, and I thought that was the tip. I thought that was like the tip. But then later on you get even more shit. And then even after I finished the game, if you go to New Game Plus, you get even more fucking skills. That's crazy. Like, it's crazy to me. But yeah. Now, I'm gonna talk about a bit about the censorship. Yeah, it was a bait and switch. I understand that from Sony, but I just hate how all that controversy is overshadowing how great this game actually is. And it just fucking pisses me off that shit is like the cover of the game now. Like no one's talking about how great this game actually is, and it just hurts a lot. It hurts how they're just talking about how they sense. I get it. I hope they uncensor it again. I hope it. I mean, my fault. What did I say? I hope they uncensor and give us the original thing that we bought. I hope they give us that, but still, we can't deny that this is still a good fucking game, and it's just all that shit is covering that part up, and it's just fucking pissing me off so fucking much. And it's not, and what pisses me off is that it's a small thing in the fucking game too. It's just covering her chest a little bit, and I get it, it's a bait and switch, but dude, have y'all seen the other outfits in the fucking game? It's fucking crazy to me, and I just wish this, yeah, it's a bait and switch. It sucks from Sony, but it's still a great game. I'm still gonna enjoy the game. I'm not gonna let them stop me from enjoying the fucking game, and it just pisses me off, man, how this shit is a good game. Sorry, I get a bit passionate about this shit. Anyways, I give this game a 10 out of 10. It's not a perfect game by any means, but you know what they say, nothing in life is perfect. You're not perfect. Whoever's watching this, you're not even perfect as a person, but you're perfect with all your imperfections at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy in the world, but you know, you could only try, and I think this game did the best it could. So 10 out of 10. I think that's it for this one, guys. This is my second review on a game. So yeah. Until next time, fuck off. I'm just kidding.